What's going on this week in Nerf? Welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana, and we have some pretty interesting stuff coming up. We got news about the Halo Blaster and new blasters. There's community store stuff, there's Adventure Force stuff. It's all good, so let's talk about it. A Hammershot Reskin showed up on Amazon Denmark. It's this awesome caution-themed Hammershot. It's just bright yellow and black painted stripes, and the orange of the cylinder and the hammer area really stand out, and the Zombie Strike logo actually looks really striking on this one. The Amazon listing shows 5 images of this blaster, but none of the left side. I'm hoping that it's painted. We have no way to tell right now. People seem to either really love this one or hate this one based on the discussion that we've seen so far. I'm definitely in the love it camp. It looks super cool. However, 20 euros seems like a lot for a Hammershot, so I really hope it's painted on both sides. Also be on the lookout for the Splatter and the Undead Red reskins that should be coming up soon. We saw name leaks for those reskins earlier this year, and this one showed up, so the others probably aren't too far behind. The Halo MA40 had a little bit of a date change. Originally, it was supposed to ship out in mid-October, but Amazon recently sent out an email saying to expect it more like August 27th. And some people, like Reddit user Emerald Falcon, already have theirs. So I don't know what's going on with Amazon, but they want you to get your blasters super duper fast. So a little bit about his thoughts on the MA40. He complained a little bit about the feeling of the pusher, which leads us to believe it's a Raven style pusher inside. Because it was also a little bit mushy, a little bit hard to pull, just due to the being bullpup and the linkages involved in that. The ammo counter is not functional, but I think it was a $40 blaster, so that's not too surprising. The riser for the ammo counter looks really cool from the side, but if you look at it straight on, it does lean a little bit. Luckily, that's an optional part that you can choose to put on or not put on, or use with other attachments, so ultimately, that doesn't matter too much. The battery tray is pretty interesting. It's really long, so you'll need a very long and slender LiPo to mod this thing, or go with 18650 IMR cells. And the magwell, it has a special mag that comes with it, but it still does work with all of these straight mags that Emerald tried, but it does not work with drum mags. That would require some shell cutting around the magwell area to get those to fit. The good news is, this blaster has a bunch of screws, so hopefully it's not solvent welded together or clipped anywhere, and that'll be really, really good. And on the back of the box, Jack Does a Thing found an unreleased blaster image. This is the Halo Mangler, a very small, very pixelated image of the Halo Mangler. In-game, this is an 8-round revolver with blades on the front of it. And from the image of the actual blaster, it's difficult to tell exactly how it's going to function. I'm crossing my fingers that it's rear-loading megas. That's what I want. I don't know if I want the blades to be foam or plastic, because you probably shouldn't be swinging your blaster at people anyway. I thought the brain saw was particularly dangerous for having a foam saw on the front, because it encouraged people to swing it at people. But I do want foam because I want to swing it. It's tough. I'm excited to see more about this blaster and how it works. New products are available from the creator of the Katanas and Tonlans, the 3D printed magazines. Now there is the Extra Edge Talon Mag Extended base plates. And essentially what this does is clip right on the end of your existing Talon magazine. You just pop off the base plate that was there and stick this extender on over the same spring even. And it'll change your capacity from 15 darts to 20. With just swapping a base plate. That's pretty freaking cool. That's going to be available for $5.55. And also, he is finally selling his Slurpee scars. These are pre-strung and built by Ton, and it fits most hobby-grade barrels. I used a Slurpee scar on my last tournament blaster, and I will definitely continue to do so. It is an awesome, awesome scar. Definitely my favorite that I've used. So that'll be $18 or $22 depending on if you want the logo, which the logo looks pretty cool, and the colors are so bright and fun. It's so nerfy and fun. Anyway, both of these products can now be found on kellyindustries.us. On the Adventure Force brand Facebook page, Drac had another live stream, this time with Brian from Primetime Toys. And we got to learn a little bit about how Dart Zone is working with Walmart in the Adventure Force line and what the future of the Adventure Force Pro line is. So the most pressing question, the one that everybody wanted to know, was about distribution. When are things coming out of the United States? And unfortunately, this year, 2020, they do just have a North American focus. They're focused mainly on the US and on Canada. And so the holiday releases that are coming will unfortunately just be the US and Canada, but they are aware of how desired the blasters are outside of North America. They've gotten a lot of messages, and they know, and they're trying, and I think we just need to be a little patient. Hopefully they're working hard on that. Another interesting tidbit that we learned is that the half-length mags will be on shelves in the future. So it won't just be the one that comes with it. You won't have to rely on just Talons. You'll be able to buy mags at Walmart, which is pretty freaking cool. They're also not tied to a specific color for darts. Like, they didn't choose black for any particular reason, and instead of focusing on what color the darts were, like how Hasbro has some purple ones and some green ones and some blue ones, and they're all over the place, he said that their main focus is on the blaster itself, make the blaster good, and they can mess with darts later. That's not a big deal. As a company, they have a whiteboard of wishes that he said has grown considerably in the last month just from listening to the conversations in our community about the Pro line, what we want to see from it. Our ideas going forward are getting intermingled with their ideas that were already on the board, and I think that's just so cool. And they're going to be getting even more involved in our community. He said that at the next big tournament, they're planning on fielding a Primetime Toys team on the field playing against us, which I'm very excited for. I'm always up to have some new competitors. But really exciting news, there'll be a giveaway next week on the Adventure Force brand page. Details for that are coming soon. The prize is 10 Nexus Pros, so 10 different people can get Nexus Pros, and he did say that he thinks they could ship outside of the United States. So if you are an international person who wants the Nexus Pro, this might be the easiest and cheapest way to get it. So definitely keep an ear out for that. And even more exciting, next week's stream, they're going to debut a second blaster in the Pro line. They called this the little brother to the Nexus Pro. So I'm really excited to see what this could be. And this second blaster will be available on October 1st in the US and Canada. And speaking of the blaster that's going to be revealed next week, we might have already found it. We talked about the Aeon Pro trademark a while back, I believe it was in February, and Utter Travesty found a Walmart page for the Aeon Pro. Right now, the only image on it says patent pending, and the only information on the page is that it's $25, which, if it's actually in the Adventure Force Pro line, excellent price. We are still unsure if this will be a ball blaster or a dart blaster. The trademark for the Aeon Pro mentions both darts and balls, while for the Nexus Pro it only mentioned darts. So we're not sure, and can't be sure, if they were just trying to cover all their bases for whatever the name might end up being for, or if they were trying to hone in specifically on the ball section of the trademark usage. I'm hoping that it starts, but I'm always excited for new blasters either way. And we are guessing that it's probably going to be a sidearm style, just based on the little brother comment from Brian in the Drac stream. And now it's time for the mod of the week, and this week it came by email from Andrew Scriven, and he's calling this blaster the Deleter. That's really hard to say in words. It looks cool written down, difficult to say in my mouth. Anyway, the main blaster is a hyperfire that's had quite a bit of minimization done. He's completely replaced the stock and part of the foregrip. It's really cool that he used a vertically mounted rough cut grip as the front grip, and he's created a battery compartment inside of that since he no longer has the hyperfire stock. The keyboard keys on the side don't do anything. They're just there to tie into the name, and I think Control-Alt-Delete would have been a pretty cool name too. It's also hitting really hard with a triple Fang revamped setup, Bulldog wheels, and a 42.5 OFP cage, all running off of a 2S LiPo. Right around 130 average with nearly 14 darts per second fire rate. So that's a pretty functional dart hose that you've crafted there. I absolutely love it. Thank you for sharing. That's all the news I have for this week. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, the links to everything that I talked about are down in the description, so you can participate in those discussions, read what other people have said, and get excited about the new blasters that are coming out. There's also the like button and the subscribe button, and hit that bell in case you don't know already that we're here every week, Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, on this channel. Videos are hard to end. You should probably click away. The news is over. That's it. No more news. We're done. Bye.